he shouldn't feel bad for leaving. He should just pick it up from where he started because he has so much energy and so much love and light, and I pray that energy finds him too.
Yo, big brother, I beg, tell these housemates that they should not try this again, again, ever. So what was happening is that they basically came together in the lounge. Like they literally called a meeting for it. I say, what's going on here? They literally called a meeting to talk about the evicted housemates and their personal relationships with them and how they feel about them. Just talking talking plenty. Some of them were crying, a lot of them were crying, getting emotional. I say, I never even say anything to say. Me that wanted like four people to go home because there are so many in the house. But anyway, the only good thing is that if those people get to watch it, that's Damboski and Ibifubara. If they get to watch it, they will be like, okay, to make them feel good. That's the only thing. If not, I beg. Make everybody rest. So let's talk about the happenings in the house, things that happened in the house yesterday, last night, and this morning. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you're new here, please do well to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you can get notified each time I post a brand new video. So Kayikumi and Isabella, this is their sheep. I call it toxic sheep because at this point, is that like they are one day off? I mean, one day on, 2 days off, one day on, 3 days off. There's always one complaint or the other, and they keep telling themselves, maybe you're not good for each other. Other people keep telling them you're not good for each other. They know they advise people like this because they'll always find each other one way or the other. So he was basically telling her the things that she does that he doesn't like, and it was centered around her being disrespectful in her approach to people. He highlighted what she did to Kebobo. Apparently Kebobo was helping her carry her box upstairs, and she told him, carry my box with respect. Jesus. With respect. Carry my box with respect. And she was now telling Kaikumi that she was joking. Is that kind of thing? You're just like, carry my box with respect or something. She was just saying that she was joking, and then that they usually joke like that sometimes, right? And that was just her own defense or her own response to that comment from Kaikumi.
There are certain ways you can see things. That's what I always say. I was joking. I'm like, kind of box with respect. I was just joking.
So meanwhile, sorry, K-Bobo and Isabella, let's say that one don't break because K-Bobo was complaining yesterday. He was saying uh I don't know, he was just making reference to the fact that she just slept on his bed. He was just sleeping on his bed that he was doing, and she needed help I mean she needed comfort at the time, and he just did cuddling and stuff. So he was pissed off at her, right? So that's sheep. If you were trying to ship them, I think you should, just leave now because I don't think that thing is going to move to anywhere. I actually didn't think that it was going to move to anywhere. I just felt like maybe they'll just be chilled and friends. But right now, I don't think even the friendship is going to really like stand. Anyway, she also responded to the Telma situation in a way. She said that she's not going to give Telma the attention that she's looking for and that fight that she's looking for, And she also made reference to Tacha and Messi, that she feels like that's what Telma is trying to do, that whole Tacha Messi situation, and then maybe she will now end up going home or getting disqualified because she engaged Telma in the whole fight or the whole beef. So she's not going to get involved with that in any way, shape, or form.
That reaction she wants, she's gonna get. She won't get it from me. I don't care.
Then, you guys, yesterday was Gigi's day to be pretty much exposed because she has been moving weird in a way. So I told you guys that she had a conversation with Doris, right? And it had to do with Sultana and how she was feeling about Sultana's situation with Victory. And she was just telling Doris about, how she didn't like what Sultana was doing, and she felt like she lost a friend. And with this act, she's definitely questioning or double she's questioning her trust for Sultana. And now it's a thing where you can't even leave this person around your ex or somebody that you like. So there were so many comments that were made in that conversation. The next thing, I mean, now later on, when herself and Sultana now started talking again, it didn't even take long. It was the next day. Herself and Sultana were talking, and they were tabling Doris's matter. And I was like, she, you're the one that was telling Doris that, you're the only person that has been like, that was really a good friend to me at the time. You're the only person that gave me good advice. And then now you're with Sultana and you guys are talking about Doris in that way. Right. So in all of this, I don't even think like any of them are innocent in the coven. Like the coven is a gossip coven. Yeah. But for the most part, Gigi has always come across like she's one that's like neutral, sweet girl, innocent. But now, Doris brought everything to light, and she was saying all the things that Gigi said in that her conversation with her in front of Sultana. So it was kind of crazy, and it was how she was just telling her to confirm what she was saying. Yeah.
That she said Doris was the only one who actually said he's not good for her. That's why I've been talking like bad little truffles. Yeah, and then she went on to say, it's given, I can't even bring her around my exes. Truffles. Yeah, but then I never called you a weak.
Yo, it's how she kept saying true of us. So she was saying her thing, like Doris was speaking what she was speaking her mind, and she was confirming with Gigi to just like that kind of thing where you're like, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you say it or you did not say it? She was basically trying to make sure that Gigi confirms it, and it would be that this is what she said. She also now told Sultana. So the one that she told Sultana is that Doris called her a weak link, right? And in this conversation, it now so happened that Doris did not actually call Sultana a weak link. Doris basically said that she shouldn't be, she should not try to make herself seen. She's tried to do more in terms of like tasks and stuff so that they will not view her as a weak link. That was what Doris said. But Gigi told Sultana that Doris referred to her as a weak link, or Doris called her a weak link, right? So it was just that whole conversation that came out, or that came to light in this their gist that they were trying to use to resolve their issues. So Gigi now apologized to both of them, saying that she did not mean it in that way, she did not mean it in a malicious way, or tries to make anybody look bad, and that you know she basically apologized to them.
I didn't tell Sultana in the context of trying to make you look bad. If and when anything was taken out of context, my bad. I take accountability because your feelings are valid. I'm sorry, and that was not my intention.
The only thing that is interesting about this whole thing is this whole coven. The coven scattering. When you guys sit down, when you sit down with a bunch of people, or like some people saying the most about somebody, or gossiping about some random people or other people, just know that group, even when there's no, especially when it's not just two people. If it's two people, maybe if you just get one bestie, maybe say, hey, you guys just the gist, they talk, not even the way they do, because they usually go very deep with their conversations, but like you guys just the gist, they talk. That one is different. But like when you point out three, that the same way people are talking about others is the same way you guys will be talking about yourselves to other people. That's the way they always be. So I'm not even surprised at all that this is how it's going. So even if they reconcile, I know that there's still going to be something there, and it's not going to be, it don't scatter. Basically, that's just what I'm gonna say. The coven has scattered. And then before this their meeting, where they were discussing the reconciliation or trying to understand the situation. Ortega was the one that was actually mediating for them there. So that's why they were able to sit down and talk. So before that, Gigi was having a conversation with Denari, where she was telling him that she just wants to, keep her distance just because of Doris. Because you guys know Denari likes Doris, and he has been trying to like, push his way there somehow. And he slept on Doris' bed. That's 2 days ago, 2 nights ago. So Gigi is now saying that she wants to take a step back so that to not be an issue, or she will not cause any kind of problem for them. And Denari was telling her that she should not do that. That, based on their friendship, she shouldn't do that. That Doris doesn't have a problem with it. He was just preaching, preaching his own, telling her not to
Do
do
you
that.
think I would be happy knowing that you are keeping your distance away from me because I'm trying to talk to somebody?
Just take your time, get to know her, and enjoy what you have. And I'm legit like stepping back for a little bit, so like I don't taint that in any way, shape, or form.
Yo, I don't. In fact, I don't really have much to say about that. That's just it concerned them at this point. Then Soso was reconciling with Tracy. She was basically sorry. She was basically apologizing to her about, like, they had issues, like one major fight that they had where Soso was telling her, yeah, big Soso was telling Tracy, we must not be friends. She said the most in that conversation. She actually said so much. And since then, Tracy has kind of like distanced herself from her, even though they reconciled since. So last night, Soso came again to apologize to her. When things happen in this manner, it almost feels like there's a motive to it. Because Tracy one head of house, so it's like, are you apologizing because maybe you want to be saved if she retains a head of house position, or it just so happened that it was a coincidence. But if I'm in a position like that, I don't go just trust anybody except you guys. The person was already there like before that. But anyway, now them Sabi for the head of house games, just they basically did like the normal games where you move from one obstacle, to another. So for the first one, they had to put the balls, they put the cotton, the materials, the sack of whatever in the holes. They were to pot three, and then the second part, they had to try to toss the ring in the poles there. This part was the one that really held so many people back, even those that finished the first part very fast. So the second part held them back. But at the end of the day, yeah, and then you now read out you after aiming at the balloon, you now read out how many seconds will be deducted from your time. So just basically normal games that they usually do for head of house. The second part, though, I didn't know that there was going to be a second part because I'm like, there's going to be a challenger. Why do you have to divide this into two parts? So for the second part, five housemates qualified for it. We had Denari, Jason J, Mensan, K Bobo, and Tracy. Now, they did not follow the instructions, especially Mentan. Big Brother told them to hold the tray to basically balance the balls on the tray when the buzzer goes off. Then anybody that the ball falls off first is going to leave. The last person to have like their balls on the tray would win. But what Mensan got from it, Mensan thought that they were supposed to hold it and move forward and drop it on the table, which is what he did. And then so many of them just did, three of them, in fact, Jason J, Mensan, and Kebabo, they were literally not doing the right thing. So at the end of the day, it was now remaining just Tracy and Denari, right? So that's what made Benson leave immediately. And then for Tracy and Denari, Big Brother made it a little bit harder. But Tracy emerged as the winner. Imagine how this team played out, you guys. Just imagine. It was so crazy because we had Denari at the bottom for the polls. We had January, and then Tracy is also that one person that people have been feeling like, she doesn't have like a large fan base, and she's going to go home soon. So imagine now, two of them being at the end, or two of them getting to the finals, or competing for the head of house position. Anyway, Tracy ended up winning, and she picked Couture to be her house guest. Also, Isabella happened to be the snail house snail for the week, and she picked toilet duties for her punishment, right?
From house for this season.
select your house guest.
So for the house snail of the week, they basically just like have the punishment and nothing extra. Last week it was Ortega. This week we had Isabella, right? So last night was basically filled with a whole lot of nothing. So I just said let me give you guys like a rundown of like the few things that happened in the house. They just play their games. What else will happen? There was a situation with Dede and Gigi. Dede said something about Gigi said something about Dede. Gigi was spreading news that Dede was crying on Saturday nights, and then Dede confronted her and asked her about it. Gigi was now saying that, she wasn't sure. And Dede told her that I wasn't crying, so it doesn't make sense for you to go around and be spreading that kind of news. Gigi apologized, and that was basically it, right? So, also, I've noticed something. Kola and Zita, they were gisting last night, just kicking, laughing, gisting. Who knows what can come out of that? I'm watching. I'm just here watching. Nothing. I'm just here. I'm just here to watch. I'm just giving you guys updates. So in case of incasity, we'll know where that leads to. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye. Love you. Keezies.